We spent $15 on every single order that we shipped out for our business. My team literally thought that I was insane. But that decision single-handedly helped us generate millions of dollars and billions of views across our brand and took us from zero to a top 5 company in just 3 short years. Today, I'm going to break down the exact frameworks that 99% of e-commerce brands are not utilizing today, and the 3 principles that will help you build a million or multi-million dollar e-commerce brand that will give you a competitive edge against some of the other brands in your same industry. So let's dive in. So 3 years ago, we launched a brand called Gamenetics in the gaming controller or gaming accessory space. Saturated market, tons of competition, and everyone was racing to the bottom for price. A lot of the difficulties that we had was trying to be cheaper than our competitors, and this resulted in slimmer and slimmer margins. Instead of competing on the price though, we made 3 counterintuitive decisions that completely changed everything. This packaging that you're seeing here in this photo, and some of the packaging behind me here on my desk, it costs 10 to 15x more than what our competitors are spending. But here's what happened. We completely blew up on our socials. We generated millions of dollars through our Shopify store. And we hit over 1 billion people, I think close to 2 billion views now, and about 1.3 to 1.4 million followers. And we're now in conversations with companies that have been around for decades and very long time. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you how the exact 3 principle framework that we used work for us and how you can implement this for yourself as well, and also walk you through some of the unboxing experience that went viral for us and give you 3 things that you can actually implement today regardless of the industry that you're in. So principle number 1 is premium positioning equals infinite leverage. Now, whenever you think about your brand, the most important thing that you can do is position yourself in a premium market. There are different ways that you can approach the market, but what I have found is I've gravitated much towards the premium side of the market, because when you decide to be the premium side of the market, you have more leverage because you can outspend your competitors because you're priced higher, meaning that you can provide better experiences than your competitors. So here's really the first principle that changed everything for us. It does give you infinite leverage. Most brands think about this backwards. They think if I lower my price, well, I'll be able to sell more. And that's not necessarily true. You actually get trapped. And the reason that you get trapped is that you never have enough money to enhance and lift the experience for your customers. And so you can't invest in experience. You can never invest in quality. You're always cutting corners. So your price competition and competing on price will always be the spiral of death for your brand long term. But when you position at the premium end of the market, something magical happens. Think about this. What if you were able to charge 50% more for your product today? What would that do for you? How much more could you invest in your packaging, in the quality, in your customer experience, in the overall start to finish touch points in your business right now? We chose to be the premium option, not the cheapest. And we actually completely flipped the script. We were trying to be the cheapest. And that decision gave us the budget to do things that our competitors literally couldn't afford to do. The psychology here is really simple. When you compete on price, you will never win. But when you compete on experience, you create something that no one else can copy. So again, compete on the experience where you can create something that is really unique to you, that pulls people into your brand, that feel captivated by your brand, and that will be a long-lasting customer. Principle number 2, your product does your marketing for you. And a lot of businesses think about this wrong, okay? Your product should do the marketing for you, and most brands spend their time trying to create viral content. But here's what we discovered. You can create viral content, but if you don't know how to make content that converts, then you're going to be at a disadvantage, because ultimately you've got to create content that leads people to a purchase. And so making sure that you're not just creating content just to be funny, because that oftentimes won't end up in actual sales. But what you can often find is if you focus on creating an amazing product that people will naturally do the marketing for you. Here are some of the results that we've been able to generate through our brand and creating content, and also creating content or other people, customers, influencers who've created content about our products, and the impact that's had. 53 million views in 60 days on our account, another 46 million views, and that's or in a different period. Our packaging has been responsible for generating millions of dollars and billions of views on TikTok and other platforms like YouTube. Not because we paid for it, but because people couldn't help but share it. And we focus on what separates our products from the competition, and it naturally spread by word of mouth. So what's important to remember here is that when you're developing your product, and let's say you have an existing product right now, right? You're not starting from scratch. It's really important that you're thinking about what are the things that you can do to enhance your product experience, or to enhance your unboxing experience, or to enhance any part of that customer journey so that they have more of a wow factor experience. Because ultimately, there are going to be ways that I'm sure you've already thought about as an owner, or the team has already brought up to you, that you know you should implement for the brand because it's going to enhance that experience for the customer, but you haven't had the money to do it. And so this is a way that you can justify that by pricing your products in a premium market and helping you to have the room to invest in those things, because ultimately they will make more of an impact. Now, yes, it is a risk, but by doing that, you gain the ultimate leverage. You're no longer trying to undercut your competitors by a little bit because you sell the same product. You have things that are uniquely differentiated from your competitors that will make the biggest difference, that you can call the shots. So think about it this way. The better your unboxing experience, the less you have to try and create crazy content. Your product literally becomes the content. So the product that you develop, what we did is we really didn't have to try and sell it. It sold itself. If you recorded a video unboxing the product that we have, it's very easy for it to be like, wow, this is a really premium product. And that's the best way to go about it, because you don't really have to do a lot of selling. It sells itself. Every element is designed for shareability. The magnetic box that feels premium, the personalized handwritten name, the anticipation buildup of unboxing and finally revealing the controller inside of the case, and the reveal moment. The reveal moment has such a big impact on the customer. And when you open this, you want to record it. You want to show your friends. That's not by accident. That's part of the strategy. Okay? The best form of marketing is word of mouth. And word of mouth happens when your product experience is so good, people can't help but talk about it. Principle number 3 is consistency creates memory. Okay? Here's what 99% of brands miss. They think brand is just a logo, is just the design. But brand is actually every single touch point that your customer has with you. For example, this is our website, our packaging, our studio, or this is our warehouse, even our customer emails. Same colors, same feeling, same vision. We call our vision infinite possibilities, unlimited potential. And we don't just say it, but rather we live it in every detail. And so this is powerful and memorable. This is how you make an impact. Is if you understand there's an element in your business that isn't consistent with your brand identity and how you've built it out, the look and feel and the experience across every touch point, you're more than likely doing something in your business that's really good, but there's another element that you're lacking that's not adding up for a customer. And they may never voice that to you, but it's happening in the background. And that is causing them to not spread your brand and your product's word of mouth. Okay? So it's very important there's consistency here. You can see this is an insight into our brand book. Okay? We created a 40 to 50 page brand book, not because we're obsessed with doing design, which I love design, I'm not going to lie, but because consistency builds familiarity, and familiarity builds trust. Okay? We're building trust. We're in the business of building trust. When your customer sees your package on their doorstep, they immediately know it's from you even before they see the label. When they visit your website, it should feel like the same world as your packaging. Very important. Most brands are inconsistent across touch points. That's why they're forgettable. So if you're wondering why your brand right now is not scaling or not growing, it can usually track back to some of these things. A lot of brand owners I see, they think that a lot of the issue is like, oh, their ROAS has gone down because their ads aren't converting as well. Or maybe the agency that's running our ads isn't doing as well. Or maybe my in-house team running our ads is just not creating good enough content. Well, maybe part of the truth could be that you haven't done this well enough. And that's the harsh reality, is because it's too often I see this happen with brands is they are consistently not growing and they're not innovating and they're not improving and focusing on that experience. And that therefore is affecting their reputation and trust they have with customers and the impact that it has on new customers. We live in a world today where acquiring new customers is getting more and more expensive. But if you can create something that impresses people, that provides that wow factor and that consistency, it's going to have more of an impact on them and they'll do the marketing for you. And so that'll make it easier for you to grow over time. Now, let's touch on the unboxing experience here, because I believe that this is extremely important as well and something you should be thinking about. Let me show you exactly how this works in practice. So the first thing you see when you open up this box is you see infinite possibilities, unlimited potential. That's our vision statement. It's not hidden on the about page. It's right in people's face every time someone orders a product. But here's the psychology behind it, okay? So this card that you see on top of this box is the card that they get when they open up the box. There's an envelope with their name written on it that's in metallic, and then inside it's signed by the exact controller technician who built their controller. And can this scale? Well, yes, it's expensive and time consuming, but we do it anyway because creating a human connection that other brands don't, and this is crucial. The controller sits in this purple satin cushioning. We call it the royal treatment, right? Where we want customers to feel like royalty when they actually open it. Even the zippers that we have are branded, okay? We ordered samples of even different zippers when we first did the packaging to match our brand perfectly, and it's the details that matter. I'll give you another example. We had to match up the purple color with the box and with the case because we ordered them from different suppliers, and we even wanted to put a glow in the packaging, but we weren't able to add the exact dye in it that I wanted to, so we actually switched suppliers just so we could add that really bright glow to the purple color that we use. So those are the details that matter and people do notice. This whole experience takes us about 30 seconds or so to go through from start to finish. But in those 30 seconds, we've created more of an emotional connection than most brands create in months of marketing. This doesn't just get opened, it gets filmed, it gets shared and talked about. People save their boxes simply because it looks cool. And I'm sure many of us can relate, but have we always kept our Apple product boxes, right? Like because they're really nice, you just want to keep them? I'm sure many of us have. Here are the 3 things that you can take away today from this video and implement immediately. The first thing that you can do is audit your price position. Stop competing on price right now. Stop it. Ask yourself, what if I charge 20% more tomorrow? What could I invest in experience? What could I do differently if I was to price this in that way? Even if you're drop shipping, you can upgrade your packaging. Maybe it's a frosted bag instead of plastic. Frosted bags have so much more perceived value than just a plastic bag. Maybe it's a thank you note. Small changes make a big impact. Second, design for shareability. Every touch point should make people want to take a photo. Your packaging, your product, your follow-up, ask what would someone want to take a photo, record this, or tell their friend about it. 3, create your vision statement. If you don't already have a vision statement, then you're missing out on a big opportunity to make a bigger impact, because we all are driven as human beings to have a bigger purpose in life. Infinite possibilities and limited potential. That's bigger than just gaming controllers, right? That's about human potential. What's your vision bigger than your product? How do you communicate this through your customer experience? The brands that win long-term understand this. You're not selling products. You're selling experiences. You're selling feelings. You're selling visions of what life could be. Now look, building a brand is definitely not easy, but the alternative is staying trapped in a price competition forever. We went from 0 to a top 5 in our industry because we understood that premium brands create premium experiences at every single touch point. Your customers are already getting dozens of packages every single week. The question is, will yours be the one that they remember? If you found this valuable, I dive deep into how the best e-commerce brands handle customer communication throughout their entire journey, including conversational SMS. Check out this video right here if you want to find out more about how you can take advantage of that and how we've been able to generate multi 5 figures doing this at a very, very high ROI. And drop a comment below, what's one change you're making to your brand experience after watching this? If you have any questions about your brand and your experience that you're providing, and it's helping you kind of think about and they're thought-provoking ideas and questions, please drop them down below and I'd be happy to answer all of you. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.